The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing Icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business. From $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters at Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate. I'm Tim Calloway. We have a very special guest for you today from the area of Milwaukee, Wisconsin area, Cory Talaska with eXp Realty. How are you, Cory?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you. It's pretty nice out here today. We're almost 70 degrees, so I'll take that for whatever the date is. I don't know. Typical real estate.
70.
Yep.
I'm in Southeast Florida, West Palm Beach. We got a hurricane hitting right now. So you're the proud benefactor of actually doing a podcast during a hurricane. So I don't know if that's going to mean anything, but maybe we'll show it at the next EXP Con. Hey, hurricane podcast with Tim and Cory. But it's below 72. Look what I'm wearing. And look what
I was going to say, and I'm in a t-shirt.
Right. And it's kind of weird because earlier I had somebody on and they were in Newport Beach, Cali, and he's got a t-shirt on. And I go, why in the heck have I got this thing on? Because I walked my dog and it was like 68 degrees with 40-mile-an-hour wind and rain. And I was like, well, I'm putting a fleece, on and on. And I was like, wow, I have gotten weak.
I had a sweatshirt on all day for my showings I had all morning and I was warm. So as soon as I got home, I'm like, I'm not wearing it if I don't have to. So
gotta go. No. I gotta walk my dog again. So I'm pretty confident that I'm going to keep this on at least for a little bit. So let's talk about you now. That's what this is about. So tell me, how did you get started in real estate? Got to be an interesting story there.
All right. So, well, before I did real estate, I worked in a totally different field. I worked at a children's hospital. I was a cardiac transplant coordinator and I worked in surgery as a surgical technologist. Yeah. So very different. I had a friend who actually owned her own brokerage and I don't have any children. So I kind of work a lot. And she needed some help in the office. So I started off with just doing some admin work with her and thought, these women and these agents are making a lot of money, I'm over here working call all the time. I'm, working crazy hours. Not that I don't work crazy hours now, as you know, but it's a different kind of crazy. So I slowly transitioned from being her admin to her assistant to her licensed assistant to being my own agent. And then I worked for that brokerage, which was a small boutique brokerage. And then I had heard about eXp Realty. And, once you hear it, you can't unhear it, is what they say, right? So I made the switch over to eXp Realty. And honestly, my last year at the boutique brokerage, my volume was about 4 million, which in Wisconsin, it's okay. Our price points aren't like Florida. But as soon as I switched over, even with 9 months of production in my first year, because my transition was made a little tough, sometimes brokers make things harder than they have to be when you make those decisions, but it is what it is.
Of course.
Yeah. So my first year with eXp Realty was I joined in 2018 of December. My first year I did 7 million in volume. So, and I've only grown since there. I think this year I'm well on track to do 15 million as a single agent now with my fourth year with eXp Realty.
That's fantastic. Yeah. I mean, progress is progress. I don't care what it is,
Absolutely.
Moving forward is moving forward. And obviously we learn as we go. We build that book of business. We build that sphere, right?
Absolutely.
And then eXp offers so many opportunities, right? That, you're doing great, and you're going to continue to do well. I guarantee it.
So, thank you.
we hear about how you got involved, which is exciting in itself because you came from such a different field. You know, a lot of folks will say, "Oh, well, I was in sales over here selling printers and copiers, and that's dead." So hearing you came from that background is fascinating. So let's talk about today. What is your methodology, and are you more a listing agent, buyer, both? Probably both, since you're
So I do both.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I do both. This year I've definitely kind of transitioned and not purposely, but I've done a lot more listings this year than I have buyers, but I love working with both. I love,
Right.
being able to do both and being comfortable on both sides. And one thing that I really take a lot of pride in as an agent is to make sure that my clients are taken care of how I would want my family to be taken care of. So I really go honestly above and beyond for my clients. I treat them like they are my family, and for the most part, I'm really good friends with almost all of my clients, so that I think that just kind of speaks volumes, because a lot of times, unfortunately, there's a lot of agents in this world, as we know, and some are just really chasing after those checks. And
Oh yeah.
honestly, that's obviously that's part of it for sure, but that's not my main goal. My main goal is to make sure that my clients don't, get taken advantage of, and, that they are comfortable with their mortgage when they
Right.
purchase, that they're happy throughout the entire process, and that if I can make this as least stressful for them as possible, that's my overall goal, and to have fun at the same time.
There you
That's
go.
that's what I really try for the whole process to be. And I love it. It's fun. I try to make it fun because, it's like they say, you're not really working if you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work.
Right. You never work a day in your life, for sure.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
that's it. You could say it
That's it.
any way you want. It still has the same end result, right? You just got to be happy with
Absolutely.
getting up every day and don't go, oh, not
Mhm.
another 12-hour shift on the floor. I mean, coming from your background, very difficult. And being able to set your own schedule, that's always one of the things that people believe they can do, and you can to an extent, but as you and I both know, sometimes we're at the whim of the client and things just go poof and schedules get thrown out the window. So
Absolutely.
so how do you what's your process? Are you boots on the ground? I mean, how are you finding clients now? There's a lot of opportunity with EXP and ways they find clients, but how are you specifically doing it, Cory?
Honestly, it's a lot with my sphere of influence, and I'm on my 8th year, so I am starting to get those repeated clients,
Hmm.
for the also, which is, great. That means I definitely did something right when they come back to me. So that always, makes me happy to be able to help them again. I have a few clients right now that I'm currently working with that I helped sell and buy, and life changes, right? So sometimes you see them a little quicker than you expect, but I never hesitate to drop what I'm doing to help them. So I am definitely boots on the ground. As you know, I was in showings all day today, running
Nice.
around with some clients, and, I have a couple new listings coming up. So yeah,
Great.
yeah, absolutely. So I just like to be very hands-on with everything so that my clients know that I'm here and I'm not just brushing them off on, you know, I do have a virtual assistant. I do have a transaction coordinator because I wouldn't be sane if I
Right.
didn't have people helping me,
Right.
but that's one thing I honestly learned at my old brokerage, being her licensed assistant, was I actually did do everything for her. And when I left, a lot of her clients were calling me because that's all that they knew,
Right.
was, oh, well, I never really saw her. So I knew right then, I don't ever want that to happen. I want my clients to know it's me here. They can call me anytime directly. I'm going to pick up the phone. They're going to have me. I'm not pawning them off on somebody else, or, however you want to say it. I
Right.
just want them to know that they will get the genuine Cory that is helping them, and that it really does mean a lot to me that they even come to me and trust me with this process, because this is one of the biggest purchases of their lives and it shouldn't be taken lightly. So that's kind
Yeah.
of how I operate.
Well, sure. I mean, I think the day I woke up and I figured out, for others was more important than for the dollar, I started making more dollars. I mean, it's amazing how that works. And you put the client first, and you put their priorities first, the dollars will come, and they just do. It's just the way it works. And so let's say I came up to visit my old stomping grounds up in Cedarburg, and you and I decided, hey, let's have lunch, let's talk about business, let's see where things are going. We sit down, we're talking, and I whip out, my Harry Potter magic wand, and I say, okay, Cory, what is your number one issue right now you would like to have fixed in your business? And I could just make it happen with a wand. What would that be? I think it's more time with you for sure.
Yeah.
More time.
Right. I think that's probably it, a little bit more time, but I also it is really my sphere of influence. Like we said, I don't do a lot of marketing, I'm not even that great at my social media, to be honest. I still have a closing that I have to, two closings I still have had like a week or two ago that I still need to post on there. So I think maybe that's the next thing I need to start to kind of outsource a little bit and figure that part out, is somebody that can do that for me. Because I'm really not, and thankfully I'm still, having success, right, without all this marketing and all this social media stuff. So thankfully, but I also, I think that would probably be my biggest thing that I need help with right now, would be my marketing.
Well, then you actually are talking to the right guy, because that's what I've been doing for 15 years. That's the funny part of it. Okay. Well,
See, okay.
Yeah, so
Beautiful.
we'll have that discussion at some point.
Absolutely.
So tell me let's put our prognostication hats on, let's look in the future with our crystal ball, whatever it might be. And what does the next 1, 3, and 5 years look like for Cory?
So I do want to, I've actually been transitioning a little more into the luxury real estate. I did I got Lux certified with Michael LaFido, the last Napa, and did some training with him. He's with EXP Realty. So I've done that. And now I know EXP just rolled out their luxury division. So I think really is to kind of roll more into luxury, but I still love to take care of anybody. Price points are not I'm not saying that I won't work with somebody under a price point. It's even those lower dollar amounts that seem to even honestly mean more to people at times.
Sure.
And any dollar, I know it means a lot to anybody, whatever they can afford. It's the biggest purchase for them. So not that I want to get away from that. I just, and you know what, the crazy thing is, organically, I'm kind of making that shift anyways, which is a beautiful thing, of course. But I think that's kind of one thing that I would like to do. And then alongside, work on my agent attraction a little bit more too. I would say, talking to more agents, sharing the opportunity more than I am, because I really just don't even have that much time to focus on that right now.
Right.
And I know that I'd have to kind of step back on the production a little bit to even do that, because I can't keep doing it all and being the best at it all. So, there's got to be a little give and take when it comes to that. So I think that that's kind of where I'm at. I do have almost 100 agents in my organization now, and that's just kind of organically happened. I've had a lot of people reach out to me since I've been with EXP, just even saying that, I look so happy with what I'm doing now, and how can I join you and work with you? So I am blessed to have a lot of friends working with me now too, which I love.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
that sphere in itself is very powerful, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
So how do you determine, you kind of talked about it a little bit. You were like, well, I'm not going to turn down, but you're trying to move into the more luxury market. Everybody wants higher price points, on their listings, primarily their listings, but even selling. So how do you make that transition when it comes to finding new clients? I mean, it almost sounds, we've all gone through it, right? It's like, okay, I fish in this pond, I'm catching fish like this, and now I think I need to move to a bigger pond, or maybe even the ocean, and that scares me a little bit. So is that what's happened? You're having to move to another pond, or how do you happenstance among someone who wants to buy $1 million home versus a $350,000 home?
Right. So, okay, one part of that equation is I actually finished the Florida real estate course. So their price points there. I mean, I think, what is your, average price point?
Well, I can look out my window and look at a $23 million home, but that's not the average price point. But I can tell you right now,
Right.
Florida, just a word of advice. Florida is very much a have and have not state. Tony Robbins lives within walking distance of where I live. I don't have Tony Robbins money. I'm not saying that. I'm in the middle. And then if I cross the tracks, that old saying, over across the tracks, it changes dramatically to the downside. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the beauty of Florida. And I think one of the reasons you're very smart in what you're doing there is because there's a little bit of everything. But you definitely are going to be able to find homes to list and to sell to folks from 350, 400,000 to 50 million, and
Right. We don't even have $50 million homes here. So that's not even an option, so
there's
I think
100 of
that's
them right down the street. It's
right.
sad, but it's true,
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
So that's kind of part of my plan. And obviously winters, I don't like winters here in Wisconsin. As I get older, I seem to not like them
yeah,
every year. I don't like it. I just got to go.
yeah, I
So I'm
understand.
happy that the weather is what it is today. So that's kind of how I plan to try and, also increase my price points is
Yeah.
by going to where the price points are higher.
Now, would you snowbird it? I mean, would you? I have a client. I mean, that it's over on the other side of the state that snowbirds it, and they just go back and forth. And I think that's a great way to live as a realtor. That's a wonderful way to do it. Is that kind of the plan, or permanently coming to Florida?
Yeah, no, I think it's more snowbird for sure because my parents, my goal would be to get them to be there
Right.
year round, they're in their early 70s, so I'm not quite comfortable leaving them full time, at all. I want to be here for them, but I would love for them to go and experience that too and even have that option to be snowbirds. They're honestly, they're my why. So I want to
Oh,
make sure
nice.
that they're taken care of. That's important. Now that they took care of me, now it's my turn to take care of them. I don't want them to be stressed out about simple things. They're retired, and I just want to make sure that they're not so stressed out, and I would love for them to be somewhere warm and not cooped up all winter.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the goal, is to be the snowbird and be here though when it's nice out here, because I do like spring, summer, fall, even though we don't have, like you said, you went to high school here.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I was younger, we had distinct 4 seasons. I
Sure.
feel like now there's maybe two, and they're real, like, kind of hard to separate. It's
Sure.
like it's warm and cold, and that's really it. Like, there's not really much spring. We kind of skip that and go barely to a summer. So I don't
Right.
know. It's just weird
Well,
weather.
it I always felt it was weird. Not, this isn't the Wisconsin show, but as long as we're talking about it,
Hmm.
we're the only house in Cedarburg that had a swimming pool in the whole town. This is in the 80s, though. This is a long time. I'm older than you, going way back. And I'm sure there's plenty of homes now that have swimming pools. But it was totally useless because we had a heater attached to it, and my dad was too cheap to run the heater. And it was like friends would come over and go, let's swim. And I swear to you, Cory, I was breaking ice in the summer. I
Oh
was,
my gosh.
but it
Yeah.
was like it was just so frigid. But yeah, it's the winters there are tough, real
They are.
tough. I mean, I get to use that I have 4 sons and they're all adults now, but I get to use that. I walked a mile and a half in the snow
In
because they
snow.
never cancel school in Wisconsin. And I really did. And so I don't blame you a bit for coming down here to Florida. I look forward to it because I love the chance to meet you
Yeah.
and get up and running.
Yeah.
So we're kind of winding down here. So how would someone get in touch with you if they wanted to list, buy, or just maybe look at working with you?
So I'm very easy to find on Facebook. You can look me up on Facebook pretty easily, Cory Talaska. I'm also the Wisconsin State Squad Leader for the EXP Military Network. So I
Nice.
do, it's kind of a new program that EXP has rolled out recently, and I think it's amazing. You know, we're here so that there's people either that are in the military or their spouses that if they need any resources, that's what we're here for, is to make sure that they know what programs are out there, you know, what kind of any resources that they need. That's what I'm here for. I was actually in the Army right out of high school myself.
Oh,
My father
fantastic.
was in the Army. He was in Vietnam.
Right.
Very hard war, as we all know. So I take a lot of passion in that. So you can find me on Workplace easily. You know, like I said, I have an Instagram page. I'm not great at social media and marketing, like I said. So I'm working on that. But literally, you know, my email closed with Cory@gmail.com. You can call me. I mean, any way, shape, or form. I'm here to help. And as long as I'm not with the client, I'm answering my phone. So when I'm with my client, I want them to know it's their time. And that's what I'm focused on. So that's honestly, I mean, I'm here. I'm always open to helping people. And that's what I really truly enjoy in life is giving back to others, you know, and treating people the way I want to be treated, as my mom told me as a child, you know, and I've always kind of lived by that, because
for sure,
that's the right thing to do, you know, is just always be kind. You know, the world is full of enough hardships and terrible things that I'm not trying to add to that at all.
No, I don't
Not at
think any
all.
of us do. As a matter of fact, you know, I told you before the show that, you know, I give you the last minute or two to kind of come out and take us out of the show, and I'm more than happy to do that. But I really like what you said right there. That's a great way to kind of end it right there. Just don't add to the drama and the hate and the visceral, what do they call them? I don't even know the word I was going to use, the vitriol that people are spewing. I don't even turn on the TV anymore. You know, it's garbage.
Me either. I'll turn on like an Audible book or something, or music, you know, and I'm a dog mom. I don't have children, so I have rescue dogs, and I've not really planned on it, but naturally in the last like 2 weeks, I've found like 2 dogs homes that really needed them. So I take a lot of my passion is either to, you know, animals, because they're, you know, they deserve the world too. They're the sweetest things ever. So it's, you know, just doing the right thing, and you know, giving back as often as I can, you know, to charities or donating my time, you know, because I just, like I said, there's just so much negative and hate in the world. I just really try to basically spew positivity and do whatever I can to help people. I'm a mentor also as an icon agent. So I help a lot of agents, you know, whether they're in my organization or not, you know, like it doesn't matter to me who their upline is or their sponsor. If you need help, I'm here to help. And that's literally like every time I'm on the phone, and anybody can tell you this before I get off the phone, the last things I almost say every single time is just call me if you need anything, you know, and I just, and I mean it when I say it too. I'm not just saying those words and I don't mean it. I literally, that's, as you can see, it was kind of hard for me to even sit down and get on this with you guys.
That's okay. Hey, Cory, I can always forgive anybody for having to do business. That's your livelihood, you know, so I totally get it. And I applaud you for it. You know, a lot of people wouldn't, they'd say, no, I got to do this because I want to get out. I want more people to see me so I can get other people, not you. So I totally respect that. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that understanding, because as you know, it's busy, and you gotta work while you can. You never know what'll happen. This market is very unpredictable right now. So I just go with the flow, right?
There you go. I love it. I love it. Cory, thank you so much for being on the show. Hang with me 1 minute after the show, just so I can share something with you real quick, how we can get the recording to you. I will want to catch up with you in the next 3 to 6, 9 months, though, and see how things are going. I think they're going to go great. And of course, if you get down to Florida, give me a call. We'll just have lunch or whatever, and you know, I'll show you those $50 million homes you can start listing.
Yeah. I'd love that. That'd be great.
How many of those do you have to sell a year, you know?
Right. I know, what a difference, because I think I'm on track for 51 homes already this year, and that's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
That's a hustle, you know. I don't have a partner in life, so it's like I'm just kind of going, go.
Go do it.
You know,
go get it.
That's what I do. Yep.
Thank you so much, Cory.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate everything. And we're gonna have to talk more about the marketing thing too, because I don't know what I'm doing.
For sure. Have a good one.
All right, thank you. You too. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
Bye.